Okay, guys, I'll try to make this quick as best as I can. To give you a little update from yesterday's test. I think this is important. Put a little more effort into it just because really it kind of got me jazzed up, made me a lot more optimistic about this whole project after some of our other shortcomings. So basically what happened is I took this sense cap, put that on the backpack, the diaper bag, and had this at the vehicle. This is I think it's a NWAMesh TAP V2. Neat node if you need something to give to somebody that doesn't really, kind of like you set this, say, give this to the parents and the non-technical people or relatives and say, here, put this on a charger, stick it in the window, and if something happens, this is how we can talk. One thing that's not great about it, since it's all on the device, is you cannot Bluetooth to it. So it's really difficult to input, let's say, encryption keys by hand. Really annoying, almost impossible. The other thing that's really nice about it is this antenna. It's one of the best 90-degree antennas I have tested, and it works just as good bent 90 as it does vertical. Very, very good antenna. So we were over here. Here's Fayetteville. Here we'll zoom in for you a little bit. Over at the Megara Farms, Rivercrest Orchard, whatever you want to call it. So, just for perspective here, that is almost 4 miles from Greenland, 7.5 miles to the West Fork 2 repeater, just over 7 miles to the 1 repeater. I'm not sure where that gentleman's Prairie Grove is, but let's say it's 10 or 11 feet to Prairie Grove. Fayetteville's middle of Fayetteville, 3.6. MLK 49, 4.7. I'm not exactly sure here where Dodd is, but let's say over there. 10, 11 miles to Dodd. Over here to Tawnytown, about 12 miles. So just to give you some perspective of how far we're talking about here. So here's a couple of our trace routes. This isn't going to change. It would take me hours to actually trace all this out and do the graphics, but I wanted to do something to kind of visualize it. So the first one was just from here over to a repeater I have in west part of Greenland, and it made it there in 2 hops, and for some reason on the way back it bounced through West Fork 1 and over, which is kind of interesting. Yesterday West Fork 1 was actually bouncing traffic off pretty regularly. The only thing I can think of is maybe since people were probably out and about and a lot more people in Fayetteville doing activities on Saturday, perhaps they turned down this cell tower down here. They do kind of ramp those up and down based on usage. A lot of people probably not at home, which is more people live out here and go up here and do activities. So maybe that's why it worked better. Not sure, but we're still going to do some work on it. All right, next we went to Brad over here on MLK. Bounced that over in 2 hops via the Fayetteville Square there. All right, started to get a little bit further here. We bounced it to Greenland and back. That worked pretty well. That's still 3 or 4 miles. Really impressive. Next, starting to get a little more challenging here. We went all the way to Prairie Grove. So Prairie Grove bounced from the node there in Greenland. This should really be over here. Sorry. Oops, messed up. The node's in the middle of Greenland. I don't know why I have it over here. To Greenland, went to the Relay 2, then went to Relay 1, then went to Prairie Grove. And on the way back, basically the same thing. Prairie Grove to 1, to 2, to Greenland, to me. That's pretty good. Pretty good routing there. And lastly, this is the one that really was impressive. Was able to go all the way to the Geeks node up here in the Tawnytown area. These locations are wildly inaccurate, but was able to go from here to the Fayetteville Square through a couple nodes, or one node actually, to get to Dodd Mountain on the way there, over to Tawnytown, and then to one of his nodes here, and then into his sense cap, kind of like I had the little seat, the studios thing. So there's actually another hop in there somewhere. On the way back, it went another route. It went, of course, there's 2 nodes here, bounced out, hit Tawnytown, bounced the squirrel net, whatever that is, to Prairie Grove, to 1, and then 1 back to me. So that's pretty impressive. Like I said, this is really making me much more optimistic that if you look at this, we only really have 3 high-altitude nodes. West Fork 2 is at 45 feet on a water tower on top of a hill. 1 is 120 feet on top of a water tower. tower. Tawny Town is partially up another tower. And then Prairie Grove and Dodd are, I believe, on the roofs of buildings. They're not super, super high. If we're able to get a couple of the nodes we're talking to right now, especially a water tower in the middle of Fayetteville, a couple other water towers around here, and some infrastructure, I think we can have pretty good communication across Washington County. I really am starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel here. I think this is really possible. Just to update you on other things too while we got you here, we are in the process of upgrading the West Fork 1 repeater due to this dude over here desensing, causing problems. What we're probably going to do is, instead of putting the filter on here, by the way, the filter is like $60-$70, and the filter is as big as this box. I kind of want that as an emergency last resort. But the new rack wireless, these new nodes here that are 1 watt, also have RF filtering built in. So that's going to be my intermediate step, is to put that in there. I still have to get a little bit bigger enclosure, but I won't have to have nearly as large of an enclosure in routing and coax if I put that huge bandpass in there. So we'll give this a shot and see how it does, do some shielding on the box, and we'll upgrade that pretty soon. Next, we upgraded the website. A little change, may look a little cleaner, nicer maybe. Put our mission statement on here. If you have feedback, you want to see that change, I'm open to that. This doesn't have to be the final draft. It's just something I came up with. I think it's good, but it could be better. The status page shows the equipment we have on hand with a little spreadsheet here. Also has links to the equipment if you want to check it out or build stuff on your own. And like I said, part of the plan as well is one of these NWAMesh 1 watts to replace the Tawny Town. Right now, the Tawny Town just has a basic node, simple there for testing. We want to upgrade to this 1 watt. So that'll be happening soon. Hopefully that'll help, because that one's on a kind of a long run of coax, and I think it needs more power for sure. So that, and then upgrading West Fork with that is the plan. We do have another node ready to go. That rack wireless NWAMesh node is ready to go. Hopefully the Atlavaux will get the issue resolved this week, and we'll have another one ready to go. So we have nodes hopefully waiting. We have some waiting ready for deployments, and we have meetings scheduled with a couple different people and conversations going to get some high altitude positioning for that. I'd like to ask if you please consider giving us some support. That'll be tracked right here for full transparency of what we're doing and what we've got on hand, and we'd really appreciate you helping us out. So don't forget, tomorrow, Mesh Monday. Send a message out with your location. If you can, put our website on there. It's helpful. And I will try to, weather willing, depending on how my schedule is, I'm going to try to get up to Benton County and do send a message out there to see if we can get a hold of some people up in there to try to grow this into Benton County as well. At least that's my plan. So I appreciate your time and attention. If I can help you, please let me know. If you have any questions or locations, we can try to get some stuff up, especially water towers are easy to work with. Any tower is great. Just try to avoid cell towers if we can. And other than that, we keep going and build this mesh and make it better and better. All right, appreciate you guys. Take care. Have a good week.